acid form life forms, basically. Like I say, I'd created lots of life forms, and we go back to about 900 million years ago, about, or more, or so. And basically, there's this giant war, basically there's this thing where I allow voting and stuff like that, and black people do this one little pointed attack where they go around and basically get everything ready to kill everyone off, and they basically start torturing and raping and doing all kinds of things. And they're they even play it on live TV, so everyone knows that they are, but no one can do anything about it because the black people have all the guns and all the nukes and everything else like that, and Nixon and Carter and everyone's helping them. Some white people help them get into power, and then a bunch of other stuff happens. So then the black people go around and they start killing and raping and doing their tribal lust thing with a bunch of other Yankees. So anyway, and they're like I say, I love Japanese and I love Chinese. And I love a lot of other people, even probably the Koreans and the Americans and everything. I love a lot of women and a lot of people, a lot of groups. I love the Irish too, and even Australians and all the workers and all the people that invented my things and all that other stuff. Hey, black people plan to do this thing, basically, and pretty much it's going to come down to that where they kill everyone off. They planned this all out where they had everyone build and all my loving people and all the people that cared about me and all the people I cared about pretty much. And they're going to show them slowly being tortured and killed, and they leave all the video evidence for me so I can watch all the people that I love so much be tortured and killed and slowly die. Everything like that, and they plan it out, and then they plan to nuke everyone, and they do. They try to. Thing is, though, that there's a lot of deep underground mines and stuff like that, and besides, like I say, I had acid form life forms, and I just had to call them, and basically. And about 900 million years ago, like I say, I do. And like I say, I kind of wish I had it on film, but of course they removed it. But basically, I was creator of probably a couple million life forms, and one of them was an acid form life form that, like eggs and stuff, basically. It's like an insectoid exoskeleton, pretty much. But it has acid for blood and all that other stuff. Well, just acid for fluid, basically. It works on a completely different system than... See, there's oxygen-based life forms. There's other kinds of life forms, There's other ways of actually doing life, and I know them all. Or at least most of them. I created them. I created a lot of other things, 800 galaxies. So basically, when pretty much one group starts to come down, and my name's Brian, and Lucifer Star. Lucifer is my work name. Lucifer Star is my work name, and then, or White Star Alliance, basically, Lucifer White Star Alliance, and then, or Brian is my home name, Brian Briley. So basically, they're planning on this whole get-together for Brian where I get killed, and I watch all my people get tortured and suffer and die. So, like I say, it comes down to war and everything, and pretty much these black people and these other Yankees go around trying to kill everything. And then they meet my acid form life forms, and like I said, in some planets, it's a lot tougher to survive and live. And like all my life forms, they have time travel. So 12 very, very old races, and they all have time travel. So, and other things. Like I say, they do this systematic thing throughout time and space, probably with Rodney and Rick Bush, and everybody just thinks they're going to win. And everything else like that, or exterminate everything. I don't really know. Like I said, it came down and basically pretty much, they had computers, they had all the other things. They enslaved everyone, pretty much. They enslaved everyone except for my acid form life forms. And like I say, acid and computers don't really mix, in a lot of ways. So they really couldn't do anything about them. So my acid form life forms, their nanotechnology wasn't this, it eats metal and stuff like that. There's a lot of things out there, it's a big universe. And pretty much, basically, the Black Menace or Black Plague, Mr. Black, Anton, they create a computer system to kill everyone too, and they do all this stuff to basically exterminate life on my planets and stuff. And it's a pretty long, it's like a 50 trillion year or 50 million year plan that they do, or a couple 100,000 year plan that they do to basically kill me and get back at me and basically kill everything else. And they have the people building the system, and they don't even know it. They don't even know that they're literally building their death and the thing that's going to exterminate them and everything else. And the black people are laughing about it because, they're building their doom and destruction, and they don't even know it. So, and then they're going to hit the button and kill everything. And then they're just going to be in existence by themselves. Anyway, though, so... Anyway, though, but like I say, humanity was my only life form and all that other stuff. And even though they have all of existence after I die or after everything else dies to work on how to kill everything off or kill or get me, it's not enough for them. It's like I said, I was over 100 trillion years old. So it's like 100 trillion years. I already have like 90 or 50 trillion years beforehand. And then we come into this one little spot, which is basically what the black people did. And it's like, even though they kill everyone off and everything off on the Earth and a couple other planets, they have forever that way. But like, I'm from before and everything else around, and so it's like, even though they thought it all out nice and well and stuff, and they were gonna kill off, they were gonna poison everyone, and no one was gonna be able to say a word about it. They had the guns, they were gonna force feed everyone and then torture everyone, and no one was ever gonna know. Anyway, it's psychotic, really. But yeah, that's what they did, and they would have worked and everything, except for, well, space and time is a little bit bigger than they thought. It was basically some guy that couldn't read and just had a gun. Ran around killing, taking over, and then spending all his money on killing everything else. So, and they built the Anton system, and giant computer and everything, and a whole bunch of other things, and set it to work, trying to kill me and everything else. And like, it was like one old black guy's like, click. He's gonna use his cane and go click. And they were playing like, and they were raping people on live TV and everything. No one could do anything about it. It was just like torturing everyone. Anyway, it's what happened with the black people, and basically it's how, and then there's a whole bunch of bad things like Nixon and JFK and Jimmy Carter and everyone, just doing all this stuff, and black people, and at first they made it look like black people were good people, but they're not. They never were. Anyway, and then they're all part of the same group. Like, it's how Nixon and Jimmy Carter got into power, is that, pretending and stuff, and then the black people would take over and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a really one-sided thing, really. And like I say, 90 trillion years ago, came to an head, you might say. And basically, and they get all mad about it because pretty much they find out that I am real. And it's like, and basically acid life forms come here and, I kind of wish I could have seen it. I mean, I saw some of it, and it was really cool because, like, these giant jet black ships, and aliens inside, basically, and but they don't attack; they only defend. So they're just that tough, and basically just go through everything and go, and they're like psycho fast and psycho smart, and they're really highly intelligent, and they love me and know me. I created them, so they're my backup troops. Anyway, so then I set everything back up and was like, put everything back, everyone back on an even playing field. So it's like, all's fair, So and then there's more war afterwards as the black people try and take over again, and it's like it ain't gonna happen that time. I mean, they got a bunch of people sucker punched the first time, but the second time, it's even playing field. So, although the war is long and hard, it's like, it's basically Anton pretty much. And anyway, though, like I say, I create life forms, and then they kind of go out into the universe. And he was doing this little thing where, he starts out this little thing going out into the universe, and it's like, well, I'm too careful to ever let my life forms die. I mean, in existence and everything. This is what I do. I don't just invent. I ensure survival of my life forms. Not just the human race or the white people, but almost everyone except for the black people, because they had their own plan. So anyway, and I ensure the survival of all my other races, and they're all the same way. They're like, they all have their own little things, and so turns out stomping out life is a little harder than the guy thought. But I don't really think he was really trying to. I think he was just, I don't know, bored or whatever. Anyway, it's a guy named Anton. He repaints all my ships, Anton and all that, and laughs at me and everyone else. But anyway, So like I say, I mean, I'm just kicking it now. Kind of won the war and everything.